welcome to another Luminar Coffee Break. I'm your host, Vanelli. Now, in this coffee break, we're going to talk about what is shine, what causes shine on a portrait, and how we can fix it. All right, so what causes shine on a portrait, and what we can do to fix it. Now, before we begin, we want to give a shout out and a big, huge thank you to our partner, Fuji, for helping make these coffee breaks possible. Here's a quick message from Fuji. Great, so Fujifilm reminds us to stay safe and stay at home, and they're happy that we're staying together and being very creative. All right, so now, let's begin with this. Before I switch over my screen, let me pull up what a beauty dish is. Here we go. All right. And hey, welcome everyone. It's good to see all of you back. All right, so these right here are beauty dishes. All right, a beauty dish, excuse me, is this big round dish, and if you notice, there's a reflector in the middle of it. So the flash hits it, and all the photons go splattering around this, and it shoots it right out. Notice this is a small dish, 16.5. Here's a 22-inch, and this one comes with a sock. Now, the purpose for the sock is to diffuse the light even more, all right? So you would think a beauty dish, just the word alone, beauty, gives beautiful light in portraits. It doesn't. It gives that directional, harsh light. Typically, if it's done correctly, it'll come underneath with shadows underneath the chin, and it just has that really cool beauty style look. So I'm not saying it's making everything soft and beautiful. It gives you that fashion look. That's the best way to explain it. A beauty, fashion beauty look, all right? So that's what a beauty dish is. And of course, there's some that are smaller. Now, let me pull this up. Here's the image we're going to work with. This is before, and this is after, all right? I'm going to show you how I got to this, but I just wanted to show our end result. We go to the end. All right, so this image was part of a real estate step and repeat. Now, what step and repeats are is simple. You set everything all up. You step in, click, 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 repeat. Next step, click, 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 repeat. So it wasn't set up to be a custom shoot, but you still want the quality to be very good. Now, I have to admit, if you look really close at his forehead right in here, the assistant I had wasn't really watching the light like they should, because do you remember, there's a lot of things involved, all right, when we're doing this. And I had, wrong one, sorry. There we go. There's a lot of things involved when you're doing a shoot like this. There's 70 people. So if you don't have an assistant, get one. Find another photographer. But here's the deal when you do this. Who's ever doing the shoot, their voice is heard. The other person keeps your mouth quiet unless you ask for advice. So you have to learn to be a great leader, but you have to learn to be a great follower too. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everyone around knows that if the main shooter is shooting, they're controlling the set. The assistant is taking the orders or commands from the main shooter. And if there's ever an issue, come up with a code name, a code word. If you're really confused, say, look, maybe we need a fifth light. Some of it's something stupid, meaning, hey, I'm at a loss for this. Something is wrong. What do you see? And then that gives the person time to say, oh yeah, you know what? I'm noticing this, and this needs to be fixed. And you got it. So to avoid the shine, the beauty dish needs to be directly onto the subject. I mean, we're talking really close. Here, we pulled it far back. And by pulling it far back like this, it became nothing more than just a softbox. A small softbox at that. And we all know that a small light source is going to produce harsher shadows or the glare like that. So had I caught that ahead of time, which I kind of did, but I have to admit, there were so many things going on, I just, you know what, we're going to have to fix that in post. Trying to get him to constantly move the light up and down, it was just too much of a pain. So these are things you should fix on set, then you wouldn't have to fix them in the computer. All right? So here we are now in the computer fixing it. Oh, I'll try this. How's my audio on this? So does the audio look in sync on this right now, David? Let me know. All right, so here we are with Michael. First thing we're going to do is, okay, first thing I actually did was I created a look. I created a look, and this look is for real estate agents. And now I'm going to show you what I did, and then we'll go back and look at it. Hey, Jeff, welcome. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we did here. I'm going to use most of the tools in the Essentials toolkit. And, of course, we're going to the portrait tools, possibly go into the Pro Tools. So this is an iffy. I'm not positive we're going to use it, but we'll see. All right? So let's try this. So here we are. And by the way, if you notice that these light up on the side, that means that tools are used in those tool sections. So here's the history tool. Start from fresh. All right, so here we are. The first thing I have to do in this case, it is a raw file. I'll come over to light, and I'm going to select the white balance, and I'm going to click right on the white of his eye. Now, notice the temperature looks bad. It's the tint I'm looking for. So I'm going to bump the temperature back up a little bit, right about there. All right, that worked out good. All right, and you always hear me say this. I like to enrich the blacks a little. I'm not going to mess with the whites because of his hair. Bring back the highlights just a little. Just pop a little smart contrast. All right. Now, AI Enhancer. Watch what it's going to do to his suit. Look how it's bringing out the shadows in the suit. Do I like that? And then color. I'm going to do something a little bit different with the color. All right? So a little bit different with the color. What I want to do is I want to just come down to the advanced settings. And we know red is in the skin tones. So let's desaturate the red just a little bit, just to show you. We're going to desaturate the reds a little. But I want to bump up the luminance of it. There we go. So I can make his face look bright, but let's not do that. This looks good right about there. And, of course, I'm going to come down to the vignette. But before I do, let's just add a little, very little sharpening. Now, I don't want to go overboard with the small details because look what it does to his pores. Let's just do a little bit. That's going to help with the eyes. Medium, and then large. Good. And I'm just toggling on and off to see the effect. All right. And now let's go back to the vignette. So I'm going to come in, choose a subject, which would be Michael's top half. There we go. All right. Ooh, that's looking good. So I have that set, and I like where it is. I may come back up here to the light tool and maybe bring out the shadow just a little bit, not too much. right about here. Well, that's good. All right, so at this point, what we did, we processed the image. We processed it. Now let's repair the skin shine and, of course, add the portrait tools to it. This is going to be amazing. Down to the portrait tools. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to smooth the skin just a little. Now watch this. Bip! Before and after. I'm going to show you why that's so impressive and so cool in just a few minutes when I work with Photoshop. Then, of course, let's enhance his eyes and remove dark circles under his eyes. So you don't think they're there, but they are. You know, while I'm at it, yeah, let's make the eyebrows a little fuller. All right, I like it. So, let me close it out. Here we go. Before and after. All right? I mean, how cool was that? Now, here's what I would do. Because we're working with AI, I would create two versions, female and male. For the females, I'd be a little more liberal on the skin softening and making the lips redder. All right? For the males, of course, I'm not going to give them that smooth look. I may add just a touch more sharpening. So if I had 70 of these, I would just go through, click, select all the men, apply the filter, apply the man's portrait filter, select all the women, apply the women's filter, and then we call it a day. This is how I used to do it. So here I am in Photoshop. Right there, here we go. So here I am in Photoshop, and I create a new layer. Now, guys, I'm quizzing you on this. Ready? I'm going to select the brush tool. Oh, before I select the brush tool, let me select the eyedropper tool, 5x5 average. I'm just going to select a color around the shine. Now I select the brush tool. I like to put the brush at 22%. 22%. I've said this a million times. When I do something like this, 22%, in the chat, you tell me why 22%. All right? Why 22%? So now that I have it set, I'm going to come in, and now I'm painting on this layer here. I'm not painting on the original. Good. Got it. Now it's going to look a little dull and flat, but I come over to filter. Now I'm going to add noise. Now I'm adding noise to that section because I'm adding back basically pores. Then filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and set. Good. Before and after. Then what I like to do is come down and dial it back in. There it is. So, but look how long that took. All right. I mean, it's very valuable, but look how long that took. And then I couldn't use that in batch processing. I'd have to go to each and every one of those. So the first step, get it right in the camera, fix it, make sure that beauty dish is close to the subject, not far away. If you do notice, you know, like right now I'm sweating, so you'd have the assistant come over and dab it to make sure that it's there. And we talked about assistants. People always laugh at me and say, oh, we can't afford an assistant. Yes, you can. You have one of your photography friends come along with you, there's your assistant. And then you do the same thing for them. So now if that doesn't work, now look how fast we were able to fix it inside Luminar. All right, so let's see. Yes, Russell. It's my son, Alec, A-L-E-C. It's Alec's lacrosse number. And David's right. Now, guys, I'm telling you all this because when we do finally get to meet up again and to go to live conferences, I may throw that random question out. And if I do, you could probably win prizes. Everyone else is going to be in awe. Like, how in the heck would they know that? But you got the inside track. So, hey, don't forget, Fujifilm is still, they still have the ebooks available. Check them out. There's the bit.ly link on the bottom. All right? Well, guys, this is great. Enjoy your weekend. I am planning on going out and shooting with the new Fuji camera they sent me to try out. And I'll let you guys know, excuse me, how all of that goes. All right? Well, guys, thanks again. And again, do me a favor. And I'm so sorry. I only see there's 2 likes so far. If you please could like this, if you found this helpful, please hit the thumbs up, just so we could show that these coffee breaks are very valuable and they'll keep me doing them for you guys from this point on. All right? Well, thanks again. Have a safe and happy weekend.